Hi everyone, this is Marvin Germo from Stock Smarts. Here's another update on the Shakeys IPO. I know a lot of you have been requesting about this stock. Of course, most of us grew up eating Shakey's pizzas. We grew up eating Manager's Choice pizza. We ate Mojo potatoes, Mojos. Who doesn't like a bunch of lunch? So I guess this is a brand that has been part of a lot of Filipinos' lives as well. So I know a lot of you are excited to know more about it. I know a lot of you also want to know if this is actually a good stock that you can invest in over uh, the short term or also even for the long term. By the way, as what I always say when it comes to investing, when it comes to IPOs, is you have to also consider that the ones that have smaller IPOs, those are the ones that would go up faster. About the ones that have larger IPOs, they have a relatively a larger number of shares that are sold. So it may take a longer time for it to actually go up as well. And you also have to understand this when it comes to IPOs, it's not sold at break even, it's not relatively sold cheap. IPOs are sold at a premium. The thing about that is it's up to you to make a decision whether this stock is worth buying, because you have to understand when you buy Shakies today, when you buy a stock today, you won't benefit from whatever it earned in the past. You will only benefit from what it could possibly earn in the future. So you must actually check if this stock is worth looking at, if this stock has room to grow, if a big portion of the proceeds of the IPO will be used for expansion as well. So I'll give you some of the facts, some data about Shakies in the next few minutes. But ultimately, my heart is that you get to decide on your own if this is a stock worth buying or not. At the end of the day, the conviction for you to make money in the stock market is for you to know by yourself, by your own decision, if the stock is worth buying or not. By the way, just a quick plug before we begin. We will have our last three seminars for the year, this December 10 and 17 in Manila. December 10, we'll talk about technical and fundamental analysis, where we will teach you how you can actually time and find the best timing to buy and sell stocks. And we will also teach you on the afternoon, December 10, fundamental analysis, which you will learn how you can filter out which stocks are good, which stocks are bad, which stocks are worth avoiding. And my favorite, December 17, it's our annual year-end event where we talk a lot about the top 10 stocks for the next year. This year, I will feature a fund manager, a macroeconomist, and a fundamental analyst with the heart, the intent, and the goal of this event is to help you at least filter out which stocks are worth studying for next year. This isn't a call for you to buy stocks blindly, but for you to actually understand and analyze different uh, methodologies of thinking by our guest speakers for the event. So I'm excited to see all of you. Bit.ly/StockSmarts Manila for those who want to join this event. So back to our IPO watch for Shakeys. Now, let's go. The stock was supposed to IPO at around 15 pesos per share, but because of the market volatility, because of what's been going on in the global markets, because of Fed rate hike, they settled at a price of 11.26 per share. So this factors in a lot of the volatility that's out there. So you have to understand when the markets are not favorable to a lot of the investors, the market is relatively bearish. Sometimes companies would lower their IPO price so it becomes more attractive to a lot of the investors, depending also on the conditions of the market. So this is what we've set. The IPO period is around December 1 to 8. So today is the last day if you'd like to actually purchase the share for the stock. By the way, just a background for those who don't know, who possibly don't know what Shakey's is. It's also owned by the the Po family, which IPO'd Century Pacific just a couple of years ago. What I like about Shakey's though is it also has exposure. It has the rights for the brand for Middle East and Asia. So should they want to expand there later on, I guess that's one of the upsides that they could possibly get from it. The stock or Shakey's as a whole will open around 10 to 15 stores per year over the next 5 years. It already has 180 stores as of this moment, and I think will close around that much for 2016. So now let's try to compare Shakey's compared to its other competitors, to its peers in the country that's in almost the same industry as it. Jollibee, the biggest fast food chain in the country, has over 3,000 stores worldwide. So 180 stores versus 3,000. Jollibee has a much bigger footprint. Jollibee just disclosed that it will open its 1,000 Jollibee store next year. The 3,000 stores, by the way, are all of its other brands as well, including Manginasal, Chowking, Greenwich, and all of the other brands worldwide. So Jollibee has 3,000 plus stores. Let's look at Max. Max has over 588 stores worldwide. So head to head, Shakey's 180, Max 588. Max has also the upper hand because it has a lot of other brands as well, from Pancake House, Yellow Cab, Krispy Kreme, etc. So now, let's look at the total IPO price. The total price for the IPO is 3.96 billion pesos that will be raised. The next question that you would ask there later on, and we'll try to analyze it further, is how much will actually go to expansion. You have to understand, when it comes to IPO, you want companies that will raise the amount, and a lot, and a big chunk, a big portion of it should be used for expansion. Next, let's look at the primary shares. uh, from the primary shares that they will issue. For those who don't know what primary shares is, these are the new shares that will be issued. That the money that will be raised from it will directly go to the company that they can actually use directly for their operation. So from the primary shares that will be listed, we can get 1.1 billion pesos from it. From the secondary shares, though, 2.2 billion pesos will be raised. I'll talk more about that later and how it actually impacts the IPO. If there will be an over allotment as well for the stock, should there be an increase, or should it be oversubscribed? So there will be 516 million pesos over allotment that will be issued for those. Should there be a big demand for the stock? And from what I've been seeing, I believe the stock's already oversubscribed as of this point. Now, looking at the fundamentals of the company, just a quick snapshot of what's happening. The net income of Shakey's over the past 3 years. 2013, you have 367 million pesos net income. 2014, you have 429 million pesos net income. In 2015, you have 479 million pesos net income. I'll talk more about that later. I'm just presenting the facts to you bit by bit. More 2015 data. You have the equity of the entire company pegged at 1.5 billion pesos. You have the liabilities at 1 billion and total assets at 2.66 billion pesos as well. Its debt to equity ratio is at 68.81%, factoring in the debt and the equity of the company as of 2015. Now, here's what I like about the stock. Let me bring it to you one by one. First of all, is you have to understand that from a macroeconomic level, the Philippines is still a consumption-driven economy, meaning more Filipino spending, more remittances. It will trigger more Filipinos to actually spend. And Shakey's is the direct recipient to all of this. I repeat, more money moving around. Shakey's will be a direct recipient as more Filipinos will have more capacity to spend. And as more Filipinos, as more remittances come in, more Filipinos will upgrade their lifestyle. This will actually hit uh, those that don't go out frequently, but now because they have a bigger budget, they're earning more. They have the ability to actually consume and go to Shakey's even more. Another thing I like about Shakey's is it has a great brand and it has a great uh, historical reputation. So it's the brand that will bring people to it. It's the signature pizzas, the pastas that they have, and the new products that they keep introducing. For those who have been following Shakey's, also you've seen that they've placed new products and new menus that will I guess entice and increase their market even further. That it shows you how they're adapting to the times. It shows you how they're actually trying to grab bigger portions of the market. But its strong brand is what makes me interested about this. I like what Warren Buffett said, that it's the strong brands that have a loyal following, and I believe Shakey's may not be the market leader, but it has a set of a good following of Filipinos also as well. Next is because we have an expanding middle class brought about by the OFW remittances, but not just that, we have a very young, dynamic population. Just case in point, the BPO industry, you have a large amount of Filipinos in the BPO industry earning above the average, and they're young. They don't have much responsibilities and tendencies to spend. Again, on the macroeconomic level, Shakey's is right smack in the middle of what you're seeing here. Next, as what I've shown you in the previous slides, the income of Shakies is increasing. And of course, you want a company who's increasing its income. You will not benefit from what it earned in the past, but what you can see from the increasing income is it shows you a trend that the company has a potential, has a track record of growing and expanding. And uh, what I know about stock prices is stock prices always follow companies that are earning, but not just earning, but they're growing. So Shakey's qualifies as a company that's growing. Its debt to equity ratio is below 100. So this somehow gives you a hedge also that uh, they're not spreading themselves too thin. The debt that they have is lesser than the amount of equity that they have. So this is a positive note for the company. And next is they're opening stores. What I like about companies is I like companies that are growing. That the fact that they're opening 10, 15, 20 stores in the next each year for the next 5 years is an upside. It's something that's good. It's something that will tell you that they have a much room for growing as well. So take all of this into consideration. Macroeconomics is very favorable for Shakies. Income is increasing. Debt to equity ratio is below 100%, and it's opening a lot of stores still in the next few years. Hmm. If everything sounds so good, what are the things that I don't like about Shakies as well? One thing comes to mind. You have to understand what the proceeds of the IPO, uh, where the proceeds of the IPO will go. So number one, 2.27 billion pesos, or around 57.4%, are secondary shares, meaning they won't go to the company anymore, but it will go to Aran Investment Private Limited, meaning it won't be used for operations or expansion of the company. It goes straight to the shareholders of uh, this company. So it's something that this company who invested early, they're the ones now cashing in. Also, they would want to profit from earlier investments, which there's nothing wrong about it. But if I have a choice between a company that is producing an IPO and a big portion of it will go to private investors, as compared to a company where a big chunk of the IPO will go straight to expansion and operations, I'll go for the one that goes for expansion and operations as well. So this one is relatively negative for me, as 57.4% of the IPO proceeds won't go to the operations of the company. Then whatever is left from the 3.9 billion that would be raised, 1.25 billion pesos or 31.55 would go to debt repayment. So do the math. You have 2.27 billion going to a private company, 1.25 billion will go to debt repayment. That leaves you with a relatively small amount of 248 million pesos, or around 6.28 for expansion, the possibility of expanding further, or relocation to of building of a new commissary, and also relocation of the new office. So uh, as what they disclosed, each branch would cost around 15 to around 25 million pesos per branch. So this gives them wiggle room also to expand. However, with the amount that they're raising, I'm just a bit hesitant that they could have used the money to expand further. So this is the only negative side that I see here. Uh, they could have maximized the money that they could have used for the IPO, and they could have used it to build and expand the company to be more aggressive also in their expansion. So try to take all of this into consideration. At the end of the day, it will be you who will make the decision whether it's worth buying or not. The best place for you to be in as an investor is for you to make wise and informed decisions for the stock. So I hope this IPO quick IPO update helped you in terms of how you get to decide and pick the stock, Shakies as a whole, if it's worth buying or not. But at the end of the day, it will rest up to you. I hope that you get to decide with conviction if the stock is worth buying or not. That's what I always say: trade well, trade strong, trade smart. God bless you. This is Marvin Germo. I'll give you more updates on Shaky soon. Let me know on the comments section if this is something that you like, if you bought already, if you just want to make a quick buy and sell for the stock, or if you actually want to hold this for the long term. So, see you all soon.